Justin Martyr. Justin, a faithful Christian and philosopher, was tried in Rome around 165 AD for refusing to worship idols. When threatened with death, he boldly declared, "No man in his right mind forsaketh the true worship to turn unto falsehood." He was scourged and beheaded, receiving the crown of martyrdom for his steadfast faith. The trial. Rusticus the Perfect said unto Justin,
"Obey the gods at once, and submit to the emperor." Justin answered,
"To obey the commandments of men is not right, if it leadeth us to forsake the commandments of God. No man in his right mind forsaketh the true worship to turn unto falsehood." Rusticus saith,
"If thou dost not obey, thou shalt be scourged and beheaded." Justin replied,
"We desire nothing more than to suffer for our Lord Jesus Christ, that we may be saved and stand in confidence at the dreadful judgment seat of our God and Savior." Then the Perfect commanded they be scourged and led away to be beheaded. Thus did Justin and his companions receive the crown of martyrdom, not fearing death, but embracing it for the love of Christ. Hey, Paul.
"Hey, Steven."
Hey, it's a little early to ask a question,
Yeah,
but have you ever heard of...
it's never early enough.
Have you ever heard of... Well, 4 a.m. is always early to do anything, honestly.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't get that joke, you're welcome. Have you heard
That
of...
means it's your first episode.
Yeah. And welcome.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Wait. It's 4 a.m., guys.
Well, you're not here, so Paul's going to say thanks for you.
On your behalf.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm here for you.
Padre Pio. Did you think that was a segue?
Yeah. Well, because
I'm just like
and right
speaking
away,
bad Spanish.
I've been thinking about Papa Lampo ever
What's
since
that?
you brought it up.
I brought
That's
it
one
up?
of the Leos. That was like his nickname.
Papa Lampo?
Yeah, like the lightning
Oh,
Papa.
oh yeah,
the
that's
lightning
right.
Pope.
That's so funny.
Yeah. I gotta talk to you afterwards. I want to do like a 1 album punk rock.
You don't have to talk afterward at all.
That's what we'll do right now. I want to write like basically like Pocanetch's style, like
Okay.
MXPX, where it's
Yeah,
like, yeah, there's like 10 to 20 songs in here, but they're all like 30 seconds long.
I love that.
And it's all about the church and the Catholic Church,
Yeah.
but it's punk rock.
You know, it's
And the album and the band name is Papa Lampo.
that's brilliant. And we wear like oversized button down like bowling shirts.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's going to be brilliant.
Yeah, we'd have to.
And then we do one show and we call it a season.
Well, that's where we record everything.
Yes,
We're
absolutely.
just live recording.
Yeah.
One-off album.
It'd be amazing.
I'm down for that. We'd have to can we make it ska?
Yeah, we can throw some ska in there.
Okay, yeah,
Why
we
not?
have to. Like a trumpet and a
Yeah,
trombone.
you have to.
We have to.
And we end
And
it with the doxology.
And when we go, "You will not see this coming," and then we just start in the
Yeah, it'd be
doxology.
so good.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
Okay, sweet.
So coming to a theater near you
Maybe.
or a small town club near you.
Yeah.
Padre Pio? Padre Pio.
Pio sounds right.
Padre
Padre
Pio.
Padre Pio.
He's Italian.
Oh, Padre Pio. Padre Pio. I'm on a 37-day streak in Italian right now on
You are?
Duolingo. Because
No way.
I'm going next week. So
But you're doing the Duolingo?
Yeah.
Dua Lipa?
I do. Because I was like, I want to be able to order a coffee, and like that's all I really care about. But then
True.
I just kind of kept going.
Well, we already talked about your trip to, was it Nicaragua?
Costa Rica.
You know what's really
Was it?
annoying? I was just hearing somebody talk about this. Whenever people are like, "Oh yeah," they're speaking just
Oh,
like
yes.
the
Yeah.
most plain English, and then they're like, "And have you been to Nicaragua?"
Yeah.
Who was that? Is that a comedian talking about
Well, I
that?
feel like the news does it all the time.
Probably.
They're like,
They would.
this just in, a woman from Puerto Rico came down.
It's like overdubbed.
Yeah.
But it's them doing their own overdub. Yikes. So I won't do that.
Anyway.
Padre Pio.
Padre Pio. See, it's more Italian when you use the hand.
That's true. Of Pietrelcina? I don't know.
You're on your own for that one.
That's his full name, but that's
Oh.
just where he's from.
That's what we call him, Pio.
So Padre Pio is he's Italian, and he was a I guess a cardinal, but he was with the Catholic Church. He was born in 1887,
Okay.
so not currently alive.
Yeah.
Um,
If he was, I've got some questions.
yeah. So he was born in 1887, and he died in 1968.
Wow.
So you haven't heard about this guy?
It sounds familiar.
What kind
Like,
of
I
math is
feel
that?
like-
80 years old?
I'm
81?
not smart enough for that.
I think 81.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it sounds familiar, but I can't tell you anything about it. I know I've heard the name before.
Okay. So this guy's actually kind of crazy because he is canonized. He was canonized in 2002. And what that means is and I was actually thinking about this. It's funny that two Protestant guys that don't really know anything about the Catholic Church
Talk a lot about it.
talk a lot about the Catholic Church because there's so many interesting things about it.
Yeah.
And the Protestant Church is just...
Well, because my dad grew up Catholic. We're like...
And my mom did too.
Yeah.
They knew each other.
And that's all I hold on. They did.
No, they didn't.
No.
All Catholics know
Did your
each
mom
other.
go to a St. Mary's? That's where my dad went to.
I believe so, actually.
Oh,
yeah.
really?
I think so.
They did know each other then.
There's only one Mary.
Yeah. But yeah, I most of everything I know about the Catholic Church comes from my dad just describing what he saw and learned growing up. Because he went to Catholic school and everything as well.
Yeah, that's wild.
To be expected.
Yeah, my mom did as well.
Okay. Yeah.
But I don't think she went to a convent. She just went to a Catholic school.
Yeah, like a regular private.
Yeah, just a private Christian
That's
school.
my dad did.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know how we got there, but
because two Protestant guys.
Yeah, just talking about
that
random
it is
Catholic
funny
stuff.
Along with what you said, it's it is funny how there seemed to be a movement early on where they're like, oh, if it's Catholic, it's not us.
Yeah.
And so we just threw out all of our early church history.
Yeah.
And we're like, because that's a Catholic thing.
Oh, you know what?
And they're like, okay, what about your history? It's like, well, there's the New Testament, and then now there's us.
Yeah.
We start with Martin Luther. That's where it picks up.
Protestants are pretty bad at just knowing anything about their past.
It's so true.
Which is crazy because it's all there.
But have I told you about Tulip?
I'm not. No, they're not ready for that.
No one's ready for that.
Yeah, Calvin himself would have to learn it.
It's so true. They're more reformed than Calvin.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. But
anyway.
I was gonna say I was looking at I was just as one does looking at AI photos of the day of Pentecost.
That sounds like something I would say. That's why it's awesome.
Just Googling AI photos of the day of Pentecost. Yeah. Because I wanted to see what AI thinks about it,
That's fair.
Anyways, there was one that was really weird because it had Mary in the middle of it.
Really?
And she was in her divine figure, just kind of haloed around her. And she's kind of hovering, and everybody has cloven tongues of fire on their heads. So it's almost I need to look up, do the Catholics believe that the Holy Spirit came down in the form of Mary or through Mary?
I don't think I've ever heard anyone say that.
Well, there's an AI photo out there with that.
Yeah. AI thinks it happened.
Yeah.
I mean, was she still alive during Pentecost? I would assume she was.
Yeah, and she...
Because it's 2 months after...
Oh, wait, she's counted in the group.
Yeah.
So, okay, that makes sense.
Because I was like...
it might... Not until right now...
Pentecost happened 40 days after...
50.
50, you're right.
Yeah. 50 days after the resurrection.
Not after the resurrection. It was after the transfiguration. Or sorry, the other one, the ascension.
Protestants.
It's way too early.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because didn't he spend 50 days with the disciples?
Yeah.
Or 40 days with the disciples. That's what it was.
It was 40, yeah.
And then 50 days after the ascension.
You're right.
But we talked about that in the last episode, that we don't think about Paul as getting his information directly from God.
Oh, it would have been 50 days after Passover? Was when
yes.
Pentecost happened.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there's a lot so it's not that long after
So it's
the
really like a
ascension.
month and a half between Passover to Pentecost.
Sure.
Yeah,
I think so.
50 days.
Roughly.
Yeah.
Depending on the calendar.
Well.
So anyways.
Yeah, fair.
Padre Pio.
Padre Pio. That actually reminds me of something else, but I'll wait for it.
Padre Pio.
Nope.
Okay. So here's the thing. He died in 1968, right? When his tomb was opened in 2008, first of all, why was his tomb opened?
Why 2008?
Don't know. I think they were
some other
studying
things happened
him,
in 2008.
but he was canonized in 2002 by Pope John Paul II. But real quick, two things about this guy. When his tomb was opened in 2008, 40 years after his death, his body was reportedly to be partially incorrupt, especially the face and hands. So, like, if you look up a picture of this guy, then Padre Pio, they have him enshrined in this glass case, and you can go to, I forget where he's at, the sanctuary of Saint Pio of
That's so morbid.
Pietrelcina in San Giovanni Rotunda, Italy.
What part of Italy?
You're about
is
to
that?
go there.
I was like, I gotta go see Papa Pio.
Yeah.
I actually am gonna try to do that now.
San Giovanni Rotondo, Italy. So
okay.
anyways,
I'm gonna look that up. I want to
so-
see if I can make that part of my trip.
yeah, because it's pretty crazy. Because basically they were like, okay, he's like mostly preserved. This is weird. And the church officials stated that his body was in surprisingly good condition for its age. A wax mask was placed over his face to preserve his appearance for public veneration. The Vatican never officially declared him incorrupt, but the condition was notable. So it was a sign. It's like they're like, okay, is it natural or miraculous? Like, what is all this? And they say like it's a sign of holiness and divine favor. So the other thing I wanted to mention is that so his body's there now, and it's like
That's
in this
crazy.
glass case,
Yeah.
and you could actually like go up and see his body,
That's wild.
like you to me.
yeah.
Like it's just right there in a
I'm
glass
gonna try to
case.
do it.
It's yeah.
I'm gonna try to
Do
it. yeah.
do it. It's in San Giovanni Rotondo, Italy.
Of course.
See Papa Pio.
Yeah, where's old Papa Pio?
Padre Pio.
Buongiorno, Padre Pio.
But here's the thing about Padre Pio is he like as an altar boy, like as he was in the church pretty early on, and there was a lot of things like happening through him, and he became a priest, meaning like there were a lot of like miraculous signs and different things associated with him directly, to the point where he's actually really, really recognizable if you type in like Catholic priest stigmata. Now, do you know what stigmata is?
I couldn't define it.
So stigmata is wild. Stigmata is it's attributed to people who have a particular devotion to holiness, and it doesn't happen to everybody. It's like super, super rare.
Okay.
As far as like how it's written down, but basically there's a sign, a physical sign given to them that other people can see.
Okay.
That is specific to the crucifixion of Jesus.
Oh.
So stigmata basically means that like all of a sudden you'll have nail scarred hands.
Yeah.
Or I guess wrists. And then
that's crazy.
You would have nail scars in your feet.
Whoa.
And then you would have pain
like
in your side, and you would have with stigmata, actually comes bleeding. That you would actually bleed out. So what they say is like, and then I think he particularly had it with the crown of thorns. He had it in his head. And so over 50 years, he was stigmatic, is how they would say it, which is kind of crazy. So Padre Pio was stigmatic, and they said that particularly when he was doing confession, that like when he was performing confession, so when he's in the confession booth with another person, these signs would show up and he would bleed.
He's like, "Do you got a handkerchief? I'm bleeding out here." That's so crazy.
Yeah. So wounds on hands, feet,
Whoa.
and sides, similar to Christ's crucifixion. The first appearance of that was September 20th, 1918, while he was praying before a crucifix in his monastery. He reportedly bled daily, especially during Mass, for over 50 years.
I would stop attending.
Described as, well, he was a priest. He was.
He had to do it.
Yeah. He was a.
That's so wild.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was described as painful and unhealing, but free of infection or odor, which amazed the doctors. Multiple medical examinations over the years, both by church officials and external doctors. His wounds disappeared without a trace shortly before or after his death in 1968, which mystified observers.
Wow.
So, like, that's actually kind of the crazy thing is, so there's photos and written testimonies that confirm the physical wounds.
That's so crazy.
So it's not just something that, like, he's experiencing.
He just said it, yeah.
He's not just like, my side hurts.
Yeah.
He's like, there's blood coming out.
Yeah, there's actually marks on my hands or my wrists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, he was stigmatic.
That's so crazy.
And to the point where the Catholic Church was like, hey, we need to watch out for this guy. And they actually made him sit out for, like, I think 2 or 3 years.
Wow.
In, like, the 30s. And basically was like, hey, we need to observe you.
Yeah.
You need to sit aside from your priestly duty because, like, this is the reports and whatever's coming in is like, this is too much.
Yeah.
And so they never like, yeah. So it's pretty interesting. So Padre Pio's, 40 years later, even now you can go see him enshrined and they've, like, held on to him, but his body was in a really good condition.
Wow.
Isn't that weird?
So that's one of those things where, like, full transparency, honesty, it's like, what do you do with that? You know what I mean?
Well, they apparently have, like, that's the thing about the Catholic Church. They have categories for stuff like this.
Absolutely.
So they have incorruptible body category.
Yeah. I mean, you think about it, it's like, especially in the early Middle Ages, like, that was, those areas of study were huge.
Yeah.
And they put so much time and dedication into, like, trying to categorize and understand this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was actually happening.
Right. Yeah.
And that's the thing is, like, I think one of the things that we don't experience just in normal life, because when you have people that are, like, heavily devoted to Christ and go into things like monasteries and they are having these active, real spiritual experiences that are legitimate, and they're, like we talked about before, like, they're shifting from first heaven, second heaven. They're shifting dimensions a little bit in that way of just, like, they're going from this space to the other, and it's very thin where they are because their mind and their actions, and they're denying their flesh regularly. So it's like, it's that idea of, like, you're just kind of giving yourself over to that,
right,
to the point where your body starts to literally represent Christ.
Pretty crazy,
which is what stigmata is.
Yeah,
because the thing is like, and we've talked about this before, but, like, that's the crazy thing about the image of Jesus in Revelation, is that he appears as the lamb who was slain.
Yeah.
It doesn't say like a healed lamb.
No, it's like he was,
And like when he's coming on the clouds, we'll see the nail-scarred hands.
Yes.
Like he has a glorified body in the way that we will have resurrected bodies in the days after heaven.
But he still carries the scars with him.
But he still carries the scars.
Yeah.
Which is like that idea of, like, salvation always being saved. It's like that process of, like, it's not until it's fully complete. And I wonder if, like, I wonder if when all things are said and done, if his scars will go away, or if it will always be a reminder. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We don't have any indication of that.
We don't. In some ways, I feel like they'll always be there.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a cool picture.
It is.
Yeah, it's interesting too. It reminds me of, and we see this in a lot of places in Old Testament and New Testament. The one that came to mind first was the stoning of Stephen.
Yeah.
Where they see him where his face is shining.
Yeah.
But we also see that with Moses when he comes down from Mount Sinai.
Yep.
And he had to cover his face because of the glory that was shining off of him.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's kind of like a level of this where it's like you're reflecting the glory of God.
Right.
And to actually physically have those representations of the scars of Christ on you, it's like, dang, that's something that's like pretty far down the line there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even to the point
Yeah,
where like
that's really interesting.
he was actually bleeding, but they said that the wounds and the blood actually had a pleasant smell.
Yeah, and there was no infection or anything.
No infection, clean wounds.
Yeah.
And he's examined by doctors. Wow. It's all medically reported.
Yeah,
that's the other thing is like the thing the Catholic Church does well is they're like no until they document everything.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of things like this, but they don't all necessarily get documented.
Right.
And this is an instance where a guy does get documented and they have all of these medical records and all that stuff. But yeah, Padre Pio. Crazy.
That's so
right?
interesting.
Yeah.
I got to see if I can see him.
You should. That would be awesome. So Paul reporting back from
Dove Padre Pio.
Hey, Padre Pio. 3, 2, 1. All right. It is the songwriting time.
So. Yeah.
So I'm going to throw something at you, Paul.
Okay, I'm ready.
You did something last episode. I'm going to do a similar thing, but we're going to do it kind of in real time.
Okay. I like it.
And I'm going to make you sing this time.
Awesome.
So what we're going to do... What was that?
I was warming up. I sound like an elephant.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open ChatGPT and I'm going to say, write lyrics.
Oh, you're really going in
based on, see, last time you came in with something already written.
Yeah.
But this is going to make a little bit more sense. So write lyrics based on
Padre Pio.
Should I do that?
Yeah, do it. Actually,
okay.
I'm really curious.
Padre Pio. Pio's. It always wants to go to. It's because I'm not capitalizing it. Padre Pio's. I guess he's the saint. Could I say saint?
The stigmatic saint.
On Saint Padre Pio's stigmata.
Yeah.
Write lyrics based on Saint Padre Pio's stigmata. And right based on his stigmata in the, should I do like in the feel of or no? Like
if you want to, yeah.
In how about stigmata in 4 lines of 2 verses.
Sweet.
Okay. So
just give it a quick proofread, make sure.
Yeah.
Make sure we're not saying anything too crazy.
I also like that Justin Martyr was our martyr tonight.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, we do what we can. Okay, so
we do what we can.
So but then now we need a
I mean, he made some bold claims, which that's the one cool thing, even in like the trial sequence. It's like, yeah, to be that strong in your faith is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a common thing that we see from a lot of the martyrs. Obviously, they are very strong enough to die for what they believe in. But it is cool to kind of get an image or a little view into like, all right, what did he actually say?
Yeah.
And some of the really bold claims I think are really cool. But I do love, because it's actually something that I've been thinking about recently. My brother and I have talked about this. It's like, could there be, or what would the thing be that would cause you to question God? And it's funny for me, I've come to a place recently where my answer for that is I don't think anything could, because it'd be like trying to tell me that like my parents aren't real. And it's like, you know what I mean? It's like, but I know them.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I know God.
Okay.
And so it's like, I don't think anything could make me question
half
him.
listening to you.
I know sorry. You are. I'm mostly saying it for them.
Okay.
While you're doing this. But that's why I think it's cool, because one of the things that Justin Martyr says is like, after believing the truth, how could I believe anything else? And it's that same idea of like, yeah, but I know what the truth is. So why would I deny it for literally anything else? I'd rather die for truth. And I think that's a cool thing. So it's like, yeah, he knows the person. He's got that relationship with the Lord. And so you're saying like, oh, that person's not real. I need you to say it. It's like, how could I say that?
Yeah, true.
Like, I know he's real.
This is crazy how fast this will do this, by the way.
It's pretty incredible, right?
Yeah, because I now have a
You've written a 16-minute
Done.
song. It's a whole ballad now.
All right, so here's the other thing that's going to be kind of trippy that I'm going to do. So Padre Pio, just so I have the note, song. This is the Padre Pio song.
The Padre Pio song. I love that.
So do you want me to read out what it says? Or do you want to just catch it in real time?
Let me just catch it in real time.
So here's the other thing that, like, I don't know if this is a good or a bad idea, but I thought about just taking someone else's guitar part and just seeing if you can do it on top of that.
Okay.
So
if I know the
so
part.
this is another song.
Okay.
So I'll just play another song.
Do I know it?
You know the song, you may not recognize the guitar part.
Okay.
But the whole song is built off of this. Do you already know what it is?
I don't think so.
Okay. This isn't too bad.
In silent prayer, the wounds appeared, a gift he bore with grace. Sacred marks crucified upon his hands and his face.
Okay.
And step by step, the fire and flame, the heart that bled in Jesus' name. Won't forget, we won't let go. We walk the path of Martyr's Road. Martyr's Road. Through pain he walked, where Christ had led his soul a living flame. Victory veiled in flesh and blood, endured in Jesus' name. In Jesus' name. Step by step, the fire and flame, the hearts that bled in Jesus' name. We won't forget, we won't let go. We walk the path of Martyr's Road. Martyr's Road, Martyr's Road, Martyr's Road.
3, 2, 1. Paul, what's your favorite sandwich?
You know what? I appreciate this question. And because I feel like the art of the sandwich has been on the decline over the last few years. And
we've started each segment, by the way, of this particular episode completely different.
Yeah.
Which is really funny.
Because usually this is the first segment.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, now we're starting here.
Well, it might lead somewhere.
That's maybe.
To a sandwich.
Hopefully.
In my belly.
That would be awesome.
The art of the sandwich. Is
Yeah.
that because like most sandwiches have way too much bread?
One side, but also people don't know this, right? Like how to stack their food, the ingredients properly.
Ooh, I'm actually with you on that.
And like that changes the sandwich drastically.
It really does.
If you make, actually they've done experiments on this.
Okay.
With burgers.
Oh, okay.
In the order you stack them, because every fast food restaurant in particular, they stack theirs differently. And you actually get a different flavor and profile from each one.
That makes sense.
Just based on the stack order.
Okay.
So it's like
what hits your palate first.
Yeah.
Because that's the dominant flavor of the...
Yeah, in certain foods, like the lettuce will block certain flavors. So it's like you got to know, like, all right, what flavors do I let through and when do I let them through?
Wild.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But it's an art form.
When do you let them through is crazy. You're not going to tell me when you're going to let it through in my mouth? That's so crazy. I'm going to eat it however I want to eat it.
I'm going to eat it. I'm eating that sandwich upside down.
Now, to be fair, though, like it's rare that I eat a McDonald's cheeseburger.
Yeah.
But when I do,
Honestly, I don't eat fast food.
yeah, it's
So
rare.
I usually make them at home.
But I
Yeah.
have 2 small kids, and it happens.
You got to do it.
Yeah. But when I do that, I intentionally say no pickle and no onion. The thing is I
Do you
actually
not like those things?
I don't like pickles.
Oh,
I don't mind onions.
okay.
I don't like the texture of onions.
Hmm.
But the other thing is like I actually like a McDonald's cheeseburger after I've taken off the lettuce, or not the lettuce, the
onion and pickle.
onion and pickle.
You
It
know
tastes
what?
different.
I've heard people say that,
Yeah.
especially with pickles. People don't like the crunch or the like actually eating a pickle,
Yeah.
but they love the flavor.
I could see that. The flavor profile of that is way more onion than pickle.
Yeah.
Cause usually like
Yeah.
1, maybe 2 pickles, but it's like
And
a
they're like
bunch
this
of
big, and it's like, and an onion.
yeah. But like McDonald's is like raw onion.
Oh,
It's like
they don't
chopped up
cook 'em
raw
up or any-
onion.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So it's like, I mean, I think they do have to like cook them a little bit,
Yeah.
but it's like, yeah. So it's mostly just
That's
onion
interesting.
flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I don't mind it.
Yeah, that's actually. Well, so to answer your question,
Yes.
I made this sandwich recently.
Okay.
This is a Paul creation.
And this was your favorite sandwich.
This is my current favorite sandwich
Okay.
that I've made.
The one that you ate recently.
Yeah, I would say if you're like, hey Paul, pick a sandwich right now, it would probably have to be like a Reuben.
Okay.
I love Reubens.
I could see that.
because I like sauerkraut. I like sour and like
Yeah.
bitter stuff.
You're also looking more and more Italian mobster.
Well, I'm
realizing that you're
I'm
about
trying to
to go
build
to
in.
Italy.
I'm trying to blend in. Hey, Paulie.
Hey, Pedro Padre.
Hey, where's Pedro? Padre Pio. Forget
Where is
about
he?
it.
Oh, you know he's over here.
Where's the pasta?
It's me.
It's not me.
Oh wait, that's Japanese.
Whoops. You know what's funny though? So because my grandparents are from Slovenia,
Okay.
which is bordering Italy,
Yeah.
and
In a really creepy way.
they're like right up on them. And I think there was like some land wars between them.
Yeah.
So they don't like each other a ton.
Sure.
I think it's mostly the Slovenians are like, we don't like you guys.
Yeah.
And they have to learn
Italians are
Italian.
Like, hey, okay.
Hey! And
it's a pasta.
it's funny because like,
you know I'm Sicilian. Like
yes.
that's
That's where I'm getting at here,
Okay.
actually.
Okay.
Because those two countries are bordering. They came over to Ohio.
Okay.
And
Just hop, skip, and a jump.
yeah. And 5 of my siblings, their dad is Italian.
Oh wow.
And so I'm like, oh, I'm a
Wait.
group around Italians.
You just said 5 of your siblings.
Yes.
Their dad is Italian.
Correct.
That doesn't make sense.
Why not? Different dad, same mom.
You have 5 siblings?
Yeah. Well, I have more than that.
Oh. Wow.
I have 7 siblings.
I didn't know that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you knew that. Yeah, I'm one of 8.
I had no idea.
Are you serious?
You guys are learning this at the same time that I am.
That's so funny.
I've literally
I'm
met
surprised I
and
haven't
hung
said
out
it.
with
That's
one of
let's-
your brothers.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I literally thought you had a brother and a sister.
Oh, no, there's more.
Okay.
There's more.
There's 5 more.
We keep going. So they're Italian. So I grew up around Italian. So it's
Okay.
funny. It's like, oh, I'm kind of like bordering Italians.
Oh, that's funny.
That's what the countries
A
do.
house divided.
And then here we are
Yeah, true. That's funny.
working alongside. It's kind of fun.
I
can't remember how to
Sicilian,
that.
Reuben.
Slovenian?
A Reuben, your favorite
Oh,
sandwich.
yeah, I do like a Reuben.
Is an Italian?
But I don't know what
Slovenian?
it is. Slovenian?
Is that a sandwich?
No.
Okay.
It should be.
The Slovenian?
The Slovenian.
It sounds good.
But so a
it
sandwich
sounds like an Italian
I
sandwich.
made recently. It kind of does.
New York Italian. Brooklyn Italian.
Brooklyn.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the sandwich I made recently.
I have an uncle who's Brooklyn Italian.
That's pretty hardcore.
He's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool. That's cool. I took these buns that I got and I toasted them.
Okay. I toasted these buns over here.
I got these buns and I stuck them and toasted them there.
Welcome to Martyr's Row. Just say it.
And then I cut up some avocado.
Okay.
I put it on the toasted bun.
Okay.
And then I put some It was like a Gruyere cheese.
Is this a new segment?
This is
Okay.
Cooking with Paul.
Sandwiches with Paul.
The art of the sandwich.
Paul's sandwich.
And then I put some tomatoes and some onions.
Okay.
And there was one other thing I put on there.
Some type of meat.
Yes. What was?
You're waiting on that.
I'm trying to remember what meat I put. Oh,
Who?
it was tuna.
What?
Wait, no. It was chicken. I lied.
Okay.
Sorry, the tuna sandwich was another thing.
Yeah,
I was
tuna's a
experiment-
chicken of the sea.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's some pieces of chicken that I put on it.
Okay. Easy to get confused.
It was. Yeah.
Am I in the sea
I
or on
mix
land?
them up
Which one
all
is
the
it?
time.
It's chicken either way.
And then I put like this balsamic glaze on top of it.
Okay.
So good.
You're doing a lot.
I know. I put some work into. It's the
Wow.
artwork.
I understand. Yeah, I do feel
What
like
about you?
I do feel like there's like a ratio. I'm really simple,
Yeah.
but I do feel like there's this ratio of like lettuce to cheese to meat, and like a lot of times when I make a really simple sandwich, there's this like I don't know, like I like a little bit spicier.
I did put some hot sauce on too.
Okay, I'm not a huge hot sauce fan.
Really?
Yeah, but like stuff that has spicy, like what do you call seasoning? Oh, what do you call that seasoning?
Oh, how you say?
Like meats and stuff that have that already on it.
Okay.
I like that, and then mixing it in with like a provolone cheese, but then like doing like some meat and then cheese and then more meat and then cheese. So it's like you kind of see what I mean.
Yeah.
And then like you got to put like the condiments on the other side of where the lettuce is or the
Yeah.
and then you don't bite on the side with the condiments on the top because then it gets stuck to the roof of your mouth.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
When you're gonna taste this, when I want you to. But honestly, I don't know. That was weird.
That was great though.
But my the idea that somebody is like orchestrating in a room somewhere when I'm gonna taste what flavor in something that someone else somewhere else made is crazy.
Now check this out. You're
It's-
gonna they're gonna taste the cheese, but not yet.
We're gonna mask it with some lettuce.
And then when they're least suspecting it,
Slovenia.
oh, you hit with a Slovenian. Slovenia.
Well, honestly, Paul, I'm very, very plain with stuff like that. So like for me, like a good provolone cheese is awesome, but like Publix has this Cajun like spiced turkey that I love.
That sounds really good.
Yeah, so like a little bit of Cajun spiced turkey
Yeah.
mixed in with provolone cheese, a little bit of lettuce, like a real thick white bread that you're not supposed to have because it's not good for you. I don't eat very
Is
many
it from
sandwiches.
the bakery or do you buy like the prepackaged stuff?
They get like the Sara Lee
Okay.
like-
Yeah.
like brioche bread
That
that's
stuff's
like
coming right out of the factory.
as much flour as possible. They smack the bag when it goes out and it's just powder everywhere.
I have joked about that. It's like I'm that guy when I walk past like a chicken breast or like
that you're just
any like
slapping
steak.
it.
I just so I'm saying like if you walk into a store that I've shopped at, there's a good high percentage that I've slapped it.
I mean Slovenia.
Yeah, you know what that's what I mean. They're like, man, this meat's so tender. I got know what that's what I mean.
Wow.
I think this is our last segment.
Yeah, and here we are, ready to get into it. But yeah, I'm pretty simple with that. But I mean,
Yeah,
I
makes
say
sense.
that, but at least I like a little spice on my turkey.
That's true. No, I think there's something to be said for like this, like just simple sandwiches and just like simple ingredients. You can really explore a lot.
True.
And I think that's the same with even just regular life. You know, I had to do it.
I agree.
Where it's like it's fun because things are complicated, but it's
Okay.
like if we can make it simple, it's also really beautiful.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's beauty in trying to make something simple.
Yeah, getting to simplicity on the other side of complexity
Yeah.
is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's almost like that's kind of what you see with the creation story. It's the idea that like there was chaos, there was a lot of things going on, and then there was some simplicity or order created on the other side of the chaos.
Yeah.
So in the complexity, there was simplicity and order created out of it. It wasn't just like,
true.
this is simple. It's like, no, this is
actually
super
crazy.
complex.
Yeah.
And it's going to be made simple.
Yeah.
Which is very cool.
I think that's the cool thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, so you have some thoughts tonight?
I had one or two.
Yeah? What are your thoughts tonight?
Well, they
This
all kind
morning.
of formulated into a question.
Okay.
So your sandwich, your favorite. No.
My favorite.
Your
My favorite.
Lasagna Steven.
It's me, your padre.
I wonder, what do we have to do to be considered like a padre?
I think
Probably
you have to
become
be
a
a man.
priest. Well, I mean, yeah, but
Isn't that what it means?
halfway there.
Man. I think that's what it means.
Just become a priest. Well, padre means father.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a father,
We
a
probably
Catholic
become
father.
a priest.
But you could just be a father, like have a kid.
That's true. So you're Padre Steven.
I am. You could call me that.
I'll do it.
Some do. At least two do.
Call me Papa.
Oh, man.
But so, question for you.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's do it.
No segue.
No segue.
Question.
Question.
Because I don't have time to figure out how to
Let's do
segue
it.
this.
Okay. I think we already did. I think we perfectly segued
So
it.
speaking of sandwiches,
Okay.
there's a particular kind of protein that people put on sandwiches.
Yes, Paul.
Turkey. They got me thinking.
The one I love.
Yeah.
Oh.
I said I wouldn't segue, and I was like, let me find a cheesy one. Another segue, you hear that?
The one I love.
The
Turkey, the one I love. You're the one that I love? That's not how it goes. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I still did it in the rhythm. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, so tell me about Turkey.
So, well, I was hoping you could.
Okay.
So Turkey.
Okay.
Was Turkey
Okay.
the country,
Okay.
not the protein,
Got it.
Turkey?
Still pretty proteiny.
Got a point. A little dry.
True.
Was
Mostly surrounded by water, though, if we're honest.
true. Condiments.
You got the Mediterranean Sea, you got the Aegean Sea, you got the Black Sea.
I love at this point. I'm actually just trying to remember the question.
Let me help you.
Was Turkey
Turkey.
the first original
Okay.
land of exile?
That's an interesting question.
Yeah.
Was Turkey the original land of exile?
Yeah.
Oh,
What do you
So-
think about that? How does that strike you?
it strikes me fancy, Paul.
Say more.
So Turkey as the original land of exile. So this is something that we've kind of hinted at a little bit throughout, is the idea that like right now, especially as Protestant Christians, particularly in America,
Yeah.
there's so much emphasis on Israel. And Israel, like in the same way that like
Yeah.
in the same way that people go to church, they're like, well, church is not the four walls of a building and blah, it's the people that are inside
It's
of
about
it.
the people and the pasta.
It's about the people and the father, the padres. But it's like yeah, yes, and all of the things are important. But bringing all those things together in proper balance. But the thing is like Christians, particularly Protestant Christians, again, like it goes back to this idea that like Israel is super important. And
Yeah.
and the truth is like
Yeah.
like Israel is important
Mhm.
in the biblical narrative and in prophetic narrative, the prophetic pieces, literature of the Bible, like the things that are to come. And so like Israel is this important thing, and there is some separation of the land itself and the people, but we put a lot of emphasis on the location. And I don't want to take anything away from that.
Yeah.
However, I feel like there's a lot of land
Hmm.
that's just kind of ignored but talked about a ton in the Bible.
Yes.
And particularly this place called modern day Turkey.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? And modern day Turkey is like this very specific place, which we've talked about before as being this critical place when we talked about Pergamum.
Yeah.
Because Turkey is, like I said, it's up above Israel,
Mm-hmm.
and it's kind of the gateway to the west.
Because it's that Asia Minor
It is.
area. Yeah.
Yeah, so like it's right above Israel, and it kind of pokes out into these three different seas. And it gives you passageway into Italy.
Yeah.
Gives you
Nice.
passageway into Rome,
Nice.
into Europe.
Yeah.
So it really, like, going to the ends of the earth for the disciples, going through Turkey was major. In fact, Paul goes through Turkey constantly. Is constantly going through Turkey.
Yeah.
I
mean, you mentioned the Pergamum, and it's like we see the other 7 churches that are all there.
Yeah.
And it's like that's a major grounding point for the New Testament, what we see written. It's like a lot of it was written to the people there in Asia Minor.
Yeah, or just
in modern day Turkey.
Just thinking about that for a second, I mean, that's kind of jumping to the end.
Yeah.
Meaning like well, let's just start there, because that's like probably the thing that's the most fresh.
It's the easiest thing to grab onto.
Yeah, so if you go, all right, well, what about Turkey? So before we get to, like, is it the original land of exile?
Yeah.
We kind of look at it in the light of the 1st and 2nd century and go, all right, so for the apostles, like, what is that? What does Turkey look like for the New Testament? And if you go back and watch that Pergamum episode, we kind of jump into a few different things, and like how that the Asia Minor was handed off to Rome. It was actually gifted to Rome, and because it opened up this gateway for missionaries like Paul to go out and spread the gospel. And we talked about the idea that, like, Revelation, the book of Revelation, the 7 churches of Revelation, they're all in the Asia Minor. And that's interesting to me, because I always go, well, Asia's the other way.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so, like, that's kind of a confusing thing, I think, in some ways, except that, like, when you start to go up and over, you're kind of going into the Asian territory.
Right.
But this direction, you don't really think of. I always think of Asia Minor as, like, that's where the wise men came from.
Right.
But
we think of, like, everything is here and that's over here.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like and my starting point is Israel.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, like, that's the thing, is, like, my starting point is Israel, and Israel's kind of in the middle of these different things.
Yeah.
And when we talk about exile, like, Egypt's below it, Turkey's above it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like eventually there's a land of exile, which is Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
There's also a land of exile, which is Babylon, which is a little bit more east, right?
Yeah. And
so you get this movement here, and Turkey itself is 7 churches. In fact, Patmos is an island off of Turkey in the Asia Minor. And so you have the Apostle John, the Revelator, like, all of that stuff is happening through. Plus, in Turkey, you have the church in Ephesus. So Ephesus, the book of Ephesians, is written to the church in Turkey. Ephesus, I think it's like the west side of Turkey. And then you have Colossians. Yeah. So the book of Colossians is written. That's a letter from Paul to the church in Colossae.
Yeah.
And that's in Turkey.
Yeah.
And then again, the 7 churches in Revelation. Then you also have Philemon, who Philemon was written to the guy in Pergamum.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So
isn't that in Asia Minor as well?
So Galatia's a massive one.
Yeah.
Because Galatia is central Turkey.
That's right. Yeah.
Like,
that's right.
Galatia is like it kind of takes up Turkey. It's like the Gauls.
Yeah.
Which that's a whole other.
That's a big one.
That's a big episode that we need to get into at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Galatia is right in the middle. So you're talking about, like, the opening letters of Revelation to the churches. It's the churches in the Asia Minor. It's the churches in Turkey. And then, and again, Asia Minor, it encompasses a larger area. But Turkey is the main, like, modern day Turkey. Yeah.
Because the boundaries don't line up the same way.
No, and they wouldn't. Like,
Right.
over time, that stuff shifts and things like that, and
Yeah, absolutely.
stuff gets parceled out and wars and all that stuff. But that being said, so you have Ephesians written to Turkey, to a church in Turkey, Colossians, Philemon, but then you also have people like Timothy.
Yeah.
And Timothy, like, so 1st and 2nd Timothy is written to Timothy from Paul, and Timothy is from Cyrus. He's from Turkey.
Okay, yeah.
So, and the crazy thing is, so is Paul.
That's right.
Paul is from Tarsus.
Yeah, that's right.
And Tarsus is also in Turkey. So right now,
wow.
everything that we've talked about in the New Testament is Turkey.
It's central in Turkey.
Yeah, it's either out of Turkey.
Wow.
So like, and what that means is a lot of the reason why the New Testament is written in Greek is because of all the communication that was happening in and through Turkey.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And like going over into Europe, which eventually would be Europe.
Yeah.
So like that's kind of an interesting, right? So like Turkey is like,
but it does take us out of Israel.
It does.
Yeah.
But that's what happens after when Jesus ascends.
Yeah, true.
Because Jesus,
that's so true.
He says he came for the lost sheep of Israel, and then he says, "Go and tell all the earth." And we've talked about that before, like Isaiah 66. Like
that's a massive one.
Yeah. So Turkey becomes a pretty key land and location for.
I mean, that's basically the highway.
It is
for them.
Yeah. So I mean, that's pretty interesting, and there's a lot of like critical things that we've found recently about that specifically. But yeah, so I mean, that's kind of the ending point in some ways.
So take us to the beginning.
Okay.
I'm sure you're wondering how we got here.
Yeah. So is it Cilicia?
Cilicia.
Yeah, you can't even see what I'm looking at. I'm just like moving stuff around.
I'm just pretending like I'm going to help.
But there's a lot of things that happen in Asia Minor and that's a critical thing. So like that's why we keep saying Asia Minor, because it's the region that like you've heard of before.
Yeah.
Which is basically like a northern cap of Israel. And it kind of tilts off to the west.
Yeah.
But it is Israel's entry point into the west. So, yeah, I was trying to see where I'm pretty sure Timothy is from Cilicia. If you want to know how to say it, Google will tell you.
We're not doing a good job of that.
Yeah. So here's the interesting thing to me. Okay. So let's go all the way back to the beginning, which is what your first question is, right?
Yeah.
So we just talked about the New Testament. That's the back end. So Turkey is mentioned when? It's mentioned at the end of the Bible, the 66th book of Revelation. It's mentioned in all of those churches in there. And then also, like, I actually don't know the relationship of Babylon. Like, Babylon moves over more into Iraq, doesn't it?
I think so.
Modern day Iraq.
I think so, yeah.
So that would be more more traditional Mesopotamia. So that kind of moves over in that direction, which is a little bit more east of Israel instead of north where Turkey is.
Yeah.
And southern parts of Turkey and things like that people would consider some of that maybe part of northern Mesopotamia.
Right. It'd be like the northernmost part of it.
It would be like parts of lower Turkey.
Yeah.
Southern Turkey. But southern Turkey. Give me some southern turkey.
Some of that southern turkey.
But so here's something that's interesting. When you bring up the idea of exile, we can kind of work backwards to the beginning with that as well. So just the language of exile, right?
Yeah.
And most people think of the Exodus.
Yes.
And the Exodus is interesting because we've talked about the idea that like when Abram makes a covenant with God, and God tells him that he'll be the father of many nations, but those nations they'll be exiled and for 400 years until the time of the Amorites, the iniquity of the Amorites
complete.
Yeah. So you get all these moments of exile. You also get Nebuchadnezzar in Babylon, where the children of Israel have turned away from God. and Israel falls and is torn apart,
Hmm.
and everybody is exiled again after Egypt into Babylon, and then eventually to return in the second temple period. We get a lot of crazy things, but yeah. So exile, breaking all of that down into those.
Yeah.
So really, we think of exile in the Exodus, but in some ways, the first exile is actually from the garden.
True.
So the very first exile,
Yeah.
starting all at the beginning, is when Adam and Eve and the ancient serpent are kicked out of the garden.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then there are guardian cherub that are placed at the gates with
The east and the west, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, gates.
So they're placed there. So there is an initial exile.
Yeah.
And the initial exile is out of the garden in a separation from God, right? So like that's where the concept of like, where does sin come from? It's the separation from the turning away from what God's desires are and from God himself.
Mm-hmm.
And so that is that first exile, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Because then you go like, okay, but so where did the first exile take place?
Yeah. And that's a question people have been debating for years.
It is.
Yeah.
Because you go, well, like if we really knew,
Yeah.
then that would be a hot spot, right? And potentially it would be like, all right, well, let's like a lot of people might even argue, I think a lot of people do argue that Eden was in the promised land. There are people that argue that Eden would have been in Israel, or potentially like people that believe that, which this is a whole other episode, where is the Garden of Eden?
Right.
We haven't done that episode, have we?
We haven't.
Okay.
I think we've talked briefly about it, or maybe about doing an episode on it.
Yeah.
And this is kind of teasing it more.
Okay.
That's where it sounds like in a way.
Yeah. I mean, we've definitely talked about the garden, but
yeah, we never talked about like where it might be.
Yeah.
But it is interesting because again, it's like with that view of central, like Israel is central. We just assume, at least I assume that everything just kind of happens around it.
Yeah.
And we're all fighting for that land because that is like the land.
Yeah.
But then when you look at it, it's like, actually, like a lot of some of the better lands aren't there.
Yeah.
Like Israel isn't the Fertile Crescent.
Right. It's not technically.
Yeah.
It may be like the outskirts of it.
Right. It's like a piece of it.
Yeah.
But it's not like where we think of Mesopotamia, where it's like they've got like the cream of the crop.
Yeah.
It's like,
which is more inland and.
Yeah.
But that's because there are these critical bodies of water.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So then you go like, all right, well, what if the first exile is out of the garden, then what land are they exiled? And like you kind of think like they're just scattered throughout the whole earth.
Yeah.
But we don't really know what that means, to be completely honest.
Right.
So the fact is like, okay, well, where did they go? Well, what do we know about Eden? Like, what is it that we actually know about Eden? Because there are some descriptors of Eden.
The rivers are a big one.
The rivers are a massive one.
Yeah.
So if you look at that and you go, all right, well, what do you mean by the rivers are an important one? Well, and actually, I don't have that direct passage. I have the next.
Okay. Is it the mountain one?
No, the
because that is another thing that can be inferred, that it was most likely on a mountain.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
That comes from Ezekiel 28, I believe.
Yeah, so Genesis 2:10, a river flowed out of Eden to water the garden, and there it divided and became 4 rivers. So a river flowed out of Eden to water the garden, which means that Eden was a land, and from Eden a river flowed to water the garden of Eden.
Yeah.
And there it divided. In the garden it divided and became 4 rivers. So there's Eden, spring, source of water, right?
Yeah.
Which, what do we know about geography? That pretty much all rivers start at the peaks of mountains.
Yes.
So the idea that Eden would be the mountain of God, and that the water would come from Eden,
Yeah.
and then in the garden it would split off into 4 rivers that go over the rest,
Yeah.
go down from the mountain, right?
Yeah.
So it kind of paints this image of like there's the mountain of God, and then all life flows from it.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Which is a really cool image.
Especially 4, like the complete piece of
Yeah.
like across
in every direction.
In every direction.
Yeah.
So like that's why like you kind of go like, all right, well, what are the 4 rivers? Can we go back and look at them, right? Shout out 4 Rivers Barbecue. That's actually what it's named.
Is that what
after.
they named it? Oh, that's
it is,
pretty
yeah.
cool. I like that.
Yeah, so for real, shout out, because we'd love for you to be a
Sponsor
sponsor.
This is your ad.
Yeah, but yeah, so that idea.
That Southern turkey.
Give me some of that Southern turkey.
That 4 Rivers Southern turkey.
Give me some of that 4 River Southern turkey flowing from the mountain of God. It's flowing
The
down
Lord's
from the mountain,
turkey.
from the mountain of God.
That's Southern preaching right there.
Oh, whoops, my bad.
Whoops.
But then it goes in and says the name of the first is the Pishon. So the funny thing is, like, first thing I think of Pishon is, am I saying that wrong? Pishon?
I don't know. I'm still
Pishon?
laughing at the other thing.
The mountain of God.
God.
But the first is
I'm never
Pishon.
getting nail marks in my hands.
And I think of like, I've been to St. Lucia, which is awesome in the Caribbean, and I think Pishon is the name of the mountain there, which is interesting.
That's cool.
Yeah, but way far away from this. Or
Yes.
maybe not, who knows. But it says a river flowed out of Eden to water the garden, and there divided and became 4 rivers, the barbecue. The name of the first is the Pishon. It is the one that flowed around the whole land of Havilah, where there is gold, and the gold of that land is good. And then it kind of goes into all these pieces. The name of the second river is Gihon. It is that flowed around the whole land of Cush. And the name of the third river is the Tigris, which flows east of Assyria. And the fourth river is the Euphrates. So here's the weird thing about this. In this description in Genesis 2, we kind of get like this. The first one is Pishon.
Yeah.
It is the one that flowed around the whole land of Havilah, where there is gold. It's almost like it's giving you a clue to something that you may or may not really know the actual location of.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the next one is very descriptive in that as well, because it even says, "In the gold of that land is good." It's weird that it would then turn and
Make
call
sure
it
you tell
good.
it that.
Yeah. And the bdellium and the onyx stone are there. The name of the second river is the Gihon. It is the one that flowed around the whole land of Cush. So it is the one that flowed. So
yeah.
But then it just goes, and then the third one's the Tigris, flows east of Assyria, place that we know.
Yeah.
And then the fourth is the Euphrates. That's all it says about the Euphrates.
Which is
The
crazy.
fourth is the Euphrates. So the weird thing about this is there's so much debate around like where are all 4 rivers?
Yeah.
Because it's pretty
Yeah.
obvious where the Tigris is, pretty obvious where the Euphrates is. It gives those. It even says like Tigris flows down by Assyria.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, that's still a modern day place.
Right.
So it's like
we know where that is.
yeah, that gets kind of confusing, right? Well, the interesting thing is like as you go through these particular like where these rivers were and how they flowed, there's a couple of things. 2 of these rivers, the ones that we know about, that are like kind of obvious, the river heads, meaning the starting point of these rivers, run from Turkey. So the Tigris River runs from Turkey through Iraq, modern day. The Euphrates River begins in Turkey and flows through Syria and Iraq. So 2 of the rivers that we know about in
Interesting.
Genesis 2
Yeah.
actually they find their origin in Turkey.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. So
Yeah, that's very interesting.
you think about that for a second and you kind of go like, all right, well, 2 of the 4 rivers that were flowing down from the mountain of God that were split up at the point of the garden and split out, 2 of them are there.
And can I ask, is it more central Turkey or southern Turkey? Where those origin points are, do you know?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I'd have to like pull up a map.
I was just curious because I might have wild thought.
What's the wild thought?
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Well, so there's another really big area in southern Turkey,
Okay. And what's that called?
which is Mount Ararat.
Oh, right. Wait,
the mountain.
before you get
Okay,
there.
okay.
Do you know what Mesopotamia actually means?
I don't.
Mesopotamia literally means between the rivers in Greek.
That's pretty interesting.
And it's referring to the land between the Tigris and the Euphrates.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So Mesopotamia literally means
It's between those two rivers.
it's between those two rivers.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So that's kind of cool.
That's really cool, actually.
It is.
Wow.
So yeah.
No, I was curious where that origin point was, because anyone listening, if they know anything, which I feel like you don't have to be even a Christian to know this, especially recently, it's becoming a bit of a topic.
Yeah.
When it's like the mountains of Ararat.
Right.
That's where biblical account, and then there's some archaeological potential evidence that that's where Noah's Ark was.
Yeah. Wait, let's
landed.
not get there yet.
Okay.
Sorry, I said that once already.
Yeah, you did, and then you let me go there. And I was like, I guess he's ready.
No, because so that's Genesis 2.
Yeah.
That's Genesis 2, and then jumping ahead to Genesis 4.
Noah's Ark is in Genesis 2. Let me just
What? No, it's not.
I know. You said that. You just said that's Genesis 2. And I was like, let me make sure. Everybody
no.
listening is like, it's not in Genesis 2.
So here's something else that's interesting. And you're like, are you guys just going to do a whole episode on Turkey?
Yes.
Yeah.
We
Here
are.
Welcome. Welcome to the episode on Turkey.
Clearly, it's your first time. This episode's title is Turkey.
Eat some.
Get some Four Rivers Southern barbecue turkey.
Get you some.
That's the turkey of God.
Brought to you by Four Rivers Barbecue.
Please sponsor us.
We will eat all your food.
If you hear a discount code here, that means they did.
Even if you didn't, just believe in faith with us.
Just try Martyr's Row.
Just try it. When you go up to the counter next time, just say, yeah, I'll have the Martyr's Row. That actually would be wild.
Give me that hot Slovenian. That's spicy.
But to go to a barbecue place and say, give me the Martyr's Row.
Like, do you want like ribs or?
Sir, we don't serve human here. Sorry, I went all the way there.
Yeah, you did. Our code is get martyred.
Oh, yikes.
Yikes. Please
Okay.
don't let that be our code.
So we're coming out of no, please let it be. Let it be. So Genesis 2, we see that there are these two rivers that are part of the four rivers and the individual river that comes out of Eden. And two of those rivers, modern day, are in, like, the head of the river is in Turkey. So that makes that pretty interesting. So you go, like, original land of exile. Well, okay, original land of exile, what does that mean? Well, first exile is out of Eden. Okay, now we're all caught up.
Welcome.
So the crazy thing about that is you kind of jump through and we go to, okay, Cain and Abel, right?
Mm.
Cain and Abel are born, and it is a tumultuous relationship.
To say the least.
Yes.
It's kind of a lose-lose situation.
And I'm just going to jump to something that is partial speculation, but I'm going to throw it out there.
Sweet.
So in Genesis 4, this part's not speculation. This is literally what's said. It says, Cain knew his wife, and she conceived and bore Enoch. When he built a city, he called the name of the city after the name of his son, Enoch. To Enoch was born Irad, and Irad fathered Why am I doing this? And then
He had some children.
he followed Methuselah, and Methuselah fathered Lamech, and Lamech took two wives. The name of the one was Adah, and the name of the other Zillah. And we've done an episode on, like, all of these names mean something, and it's telling us something. But what I'm going to tell you is
I will
up.
say, just to make sure, because you started with Cain.
I did.
Yeah. But then you're going to
I'm not
Methuselah.
going where you're going.
No, but then you jumped to Methuselah. I was like, that's not one of Cain's.
Oh, sorry.
descendants.
Methusiel.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah. I was like, let me just make sure, because this is really important.
Methusiel.
Yeah.
And then Methusiel fathered Lamech, and Lamech, and there's several repeating names in the Bible, by the way. And then jumping ahead, like, okay, so brothers, yeah, he was the father of those who dwell in the tents and have livestock. His brother's name was Jubal, and he was the father of all those who play the lyre and pipe. So it starts naming like what these individuals are known for.
Yeah.
And this is kind of the first time this is happening. So in Genesis 4, it's like, all right, this guy, he was known for all of these things,
Mm-hmm.
which, you know, we'll go back to like, how did they learn that? Like,
Right.
At some point.
I mean, that kind of jumps back into the myth conversation that we've had.
It can.
Yeah.
It also jumps into like, where is knowledge coming from
Right.
during this time period?
And that's, I mean, again, that's the knowledge bringer myths
Yes.
that we've talked about. Yeah.
Yeah. And then it says, Zillah also bore Tubal-Cain, and he was the forager of all instruments of bronze and iron. The sister of Tubal-Cain was Naamah. So let me stop right there. Tubal-Cain. You might not. Do you know what I'm about to say?
I don't know if I do.
So Tubal
Mm-hmm.
is a modern day city
Yes.
in Turkey.
Yes. I think I know what you're talking about.
And there's some speculation that Tubal-Cain, that the land of Tubal was named after him, or
okay.
he's associated with that
That makes
area in
sense.
that region. So it's like basically what I'm going to is like
Mm.
Genesis 4. You kind of have these different people that are spread out that are known for different things.
Yeah.
And Tubal-Cain was a son of Cain, and or descendant of Cain, and he's in this Turkey region. Now here's
Yeah.
what I'm gonna throw out as like, because that is like, they would say, a lot of people say that that's probably who's associated with that area in Turkey. I'm gonna say, again, I'll side with the speculative, but I'm gonna throw out a piece of information that is pretty interesting just to know. So if Tubal-Cain, descendant of Cain, is associated with Tubal, Turkey, that is interesting because if you are or have been a drummer for a long time, you would know that Turkish cymbals are the best cymbals, and the reason why they are the
that's
best cymbals
fascinating.
is because cymbals were invented or came onto the scene around 3,000 to 4,000 BC. So where we see in the archaeological records is that cymbals, that like the musical instrument, the cymbal, comes around in around 3,000 to 4,000 BC. The interesting thing is the origins happen simultaneous. So the origins are Turkey and China. They kind of independently happen around the same time. So like, I don't know if someone went over or whatever, but that tends to happen.
Our boy Pisces was working.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, so around 3,000 to 4,000 BC is when cymbals were created, and cymbals were created basically in Turkey. And like, an easy thing is like,
That's really
the
fascinating.
Zildjian family kind of carries on that
Yeah.
idea. But the thing that's interesting
Whoa.
about that in particular
Yeah.
is Tubal-Cain. Zillah also bore Tubal-Cain. This is
Yeah.
Genesis 4:22. He was the forager of all instruments of bronze and iron.
Yeah.
In
that's
like
so
modern day,
crazy.
like I grew up as a drummer being like, yeah, the best cymbals are Turkish cymbals.
Yeah.
Not realizing that like the Bible
it
literally
actually goes
says
back to like
that in Genesis 4:22 that Tubal-Cain was
he
known as-
invented it. Yeah.
he basically, I mean, instruments of bronze.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well,
That's so crazy.
that could be talking about trumpets. It could be
Wow.
talking about, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But also cymbals.
I mean, it makes sense that it would be.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
It makes sense that it
I'm
would
going
be.
with probably.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going with yeah,
So-
dude.
Drums are the devil.
They're the line of Cain at least.
Oh, no! Drums are okay, but not the cymbals.
No, yeah. Particularly ones made of bronze.
Yeah. That's why electric drums for the no. Yeah.
But I thought that was pretty interesting.
That's really fascinating.
So then we can jump to Genesis 8.
Yeah. And actually, we're gonna end up jumping around a little bit here.
Okay.
Potentially.
Well, Genesis 8, 3b. At the end of 150 days, the water had abated, And in the 7th month, on the 17th day of the month, the ark came to rest on the mountains of Ararat. And the waters continued to abate until the 10th month. In the 10th month on the first day of the month, and the tops of the mountains were seen.
On the first day of the month.
Of the 10th month. Yeah, so Genesis 8, it talks about like Noah and Noah's ark and the flood happening and the waters subsiding, and Noah's ark is landing where?
Yeah, in the mountains of Ararat.
Right, which is in southern Turkey.
Yes.
So once again, Turkey.
Kind of interesting. And the one thing that I will say...
And we just talked about Turkey 3 times in the first 8 chapters of Genesis.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Well, I think that what's
and
interesting
we didn't
about
talk
that,
about at all? Israel.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
It becomes very important later.
It does. Just right now, it hasn't come up yet.
It hasn't come up yet.
Believe it or not.
So digging more into the question of, was Turkey the first land of exile?
Well, so what's interesting about this as well is with Noah's Ark, like it was made to just kind of stay alive.
Right.
He wasn't trying to go anywhere.
Right.
He was just trying to not die.
Right.
And so there's a lot of smarter people that have put the work in on this.
Thank you, smart people.
Thank you, smart people. And some of the archaeological things they found in that area are these, I can't remember the actual name of it, but there's like these anchor stones.
Okay.
And it's these massive stones that would have been attached to a boat.
Right.
And the only purpose is that it just anchors you down. So it's like you're not going anywhere.
Right.
And so the thought is that a lot of these would have been attached to the ark.
Yeah.
To make sure the ark didn't go anywhere.
Which would
make... Again, they're not trying to move. They're just trying to not drown.
Yeah, so basically what you're getting at is there's a really high probability that Noah's Ark never actually moved or floated.
At least not very far.
Right.
So the fact that it landed in southern Turkey probably mean it originated, he started out somewhere in southern Turkey.
And probably if you're going to build an ark,
I'd go pretty high up.
you're going to go on a mountain.
Yeah.
So like best case scenario, it went from one mountain to another mountain.
Right.
Or from one part of the mountain
to another section.
Part of that mountain.
Yeah. Yeah, so like thinking about that, it's like there's a stronger connection to they were probably starting up in this area.
Right.
Or he lived around this area.
Right.
Yeah. And again, we're in Turkey.
We are in Turkey.
We're not in Israel.
Correct. Water flows south. Right?
Yeah. So I don't know. I think that's a fascinating idea though.
It is.
Because it moves our geography a little bit.
Yes, it does. Yeah, and there's several other people that are associated with, like, that was one of the other things is like you kind of jump through who's associated with Turkey, the land of Turkey.
Yeah.
And it's a bunch of people. I mean, Noah being the main one in the Old Testament early on in Genesis 4. And then there's another group of people in Genesis 23 where Abraham buys land from them. And those people are the Hittite people.
Oh. That is a massive name in the Old Testament.
And then also you have sons of Noah.
Yeah.
So Japheth's descendants. That's where you get like tribes like Gomer, Magog, Mashish, and Tubal. Are traditionally associated with the regions in Asia Minor. But yeah, the Hittites.
Yeah.
We know about them.
The Hittites, pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because they are mentioned a lot in the Bible.
They are.
But we're not really told a lot about them.
Sure. Yeah.
In the Bible.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny. It's one of those where it's like who this would have been written to. And it's like the Hittites were one of the largest empires at the time.
Yeah.
Like they were massive.
Mm-hmm.
But they are explicitly named. I think it's in the promise to Abraham, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's a list of.
And Abraham rose up from before his dead and said to the Hittites, I'm a sojourner and foreigner among you. Give me property among you for a burying place that I may bury my dead out of my sight. The Hittites answered Abraham, Hear us, my lord. You are a prince of God among us. Bury your dead in the choicest of our tombs. None of us will withhold from you this tomb to hinder you from burying your dead. So Abraham rose and bowed to the Hittites, the people of the land. So yeah,
Yeah.
That's Genesis 23.
And they're in Turkey. I mean, like, they're kind of the heart of it, where the area that they ruled would have been modern day, like central Turkey
Yeah.
and parts of southern.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the timeline that's placed on them for when they existed, the empire existed, was like 1600 BC to 1200 BC. But we do see still like Hittite people after that, after the
Right.
empire falls, because we see even with David,
Mm-hmm.
to jump ahead to that, it's like he has a Hittite soldier on his that he talks to,
Yeah.
and we've got that recorded. I think it's in 2 Samuel 11.
Okay.
Not that we need to go there, but that's, if anyone's curious, I think that's where he's at. But so the Hittites are interesting. And so one of the things that I find interesting to bring up here is the gods that they worshipped.
Okay.
And so one of the most common god names that we see come up in the Old Testament is, what would you say?
Baal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what's funny about that is Baal or Baal, if you want to be super crazy, is like it is a name for I think it's the Canaanite god,
Mm-hmm.
their chief storm god,
Yeah.
but it's also not a name
Right.
because it directly means Lord
Right.
or master. So them saying Baal, they're just saying Lord.
Right.
And that's where we get titles like, I think it's like Beelzebub or Baal
Right.
Hadid.
Yeah.
And we do similar things with Yahweh. We got like El Shaddai and all these names.
Yeah.
Um,
Like L, using L.
yeah.
Yeah, as
Yeah,
the
yeah.
root.
Yeah. And it's describing for them, like Beelzebub, I think means Lord of the Flies. It's like it's describing a very specific god.
Yeah.
Because Baal is just, that's the Lord.
Right.
And so, and actually, I think I talked about this in the last episode or a previous one, where we see that a lot in the Bible, where it doesn't specifically name many gods, if any. It does a couple times, I think, but very seldom. And the reason, I think it's very intentional, and it's because it's not talking about one specific; it's talking about all of them.
Right.
It's like, so when we look at the Hittites, they worshipped, as the Bible would say, Baal. But their god was, what was his name? He's got a bunch of different names because we translate it differently. But it's like Tarhunt or something like that.
Yeah.
But essentially, he was a storm god. And to place that into language that makes a little bit more sense, and just to draw this connection, storm gods are the ones that were controlled the weather. Sometimes they would be like fertility and war. But essentially, it's like, oh, they were in charge of like lightning. Let me just draw that picture right there. It's like essentially Zeus is a storm god.
Yeah.
To kind of, again, especially jumping off of our myth series, it's like, yeah, we're attaching all these guys. Like we're all talking about the same thing here.
Yeah. It's the mythological story of Tirana. Is that what it is?
That's one of them.
Okay.
I've seen a couple different ones.
The spelling of it.
Yeah.
Or is it Turunts?
That's
that one?
there's like I've seen like 5 different ones for the same guy.
Yeah, it says a myth in which Tirana fights and is initially defeated by the serpent, Ilyanka,
Yeah.
but later tricks and defeats him. That's interesting.
Yeah. That's actually a very interesting story. Because it was one of the other goddesses, like threw a party
Okay.
and invited the serpent
Okay.
to come.
As you do.
Yeah, and the serpent came, got drunk, and then
As one
Tirhana
does.
showed up and was like, "Time to die." But then I can't remember what happens later. I think he ends up having, or one of the other stories says, he ends up having a son.
Yeah.
And then I think the serpent ends up like takes his eye, Tirhana's eye,
Whoa.
and he wants his son to go get it back.
Yeah.
So his son goes to get it back for him, but then ends up siding with the serpent, and they both team up against.
Oh no.
It's pretty wild stuff.
Some crazy myths.
Yeah, there's some wild stuff.
Yeah.
But okay, so why do I bring that up? It's like, so kind of placing them all together. It's like, so they're all worshiping these storm gods, these polytheistic gods.
Yeah.
And when you think about it this way, it's like they're kind of sandwiched in the middle.
Yeah.
The people, the early not church fathers, our
Oh.
fathers of the faith here.
Yeah.
They're kind of sandwiched right in the middle of all this.
Yeah.
Where below them you have the Canaanites,
Sure.
and above them you got the Hittites,
Yeah.
and they're all polytheistic, worshiping these storm gods.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they're like, by the way, there's a storm coming.
Whoops.
Oopsies. Missed that one.
Yeah. Yeah, so that is kind of interesting.
But here's what's also fascinating. And this one, the answer to this, there's two ideas about it.
Okay.
And it depends on how you date the Exodus story.
Okay.
So, there was a peace treaty.
I don't think I would take the Exodus story on a date. Sorry, that was so delayed. I wanted to delay it enough because it was cheesy enough. I needed some type of surprise.
It's enough to forget about it. And it was like, what?
Yeah. What did you say? Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Got it.
Thanks.
Sorry.
I love that.
So interesting dating of the Exile.
Yeah, because I believe it was like 1259 BC.
Okay.
There was a treaty.
That's so specific.
I know. I'm pretty sure. There was a peace treaty between the Hittites and the Egyptians.
Okay.
I think it was Ramses II. I think is the one who's attributed to it.
Naturally.
Of course. And so, one dating of the Exodus.
Yeah.
And this is based on this one is based on archaeological evidence.
Okay.
It would place the Exodus at like 1260
So 1 year later.
before.
Yeah.
Because we're talking BC.
Right.
Yeah. So it's
Okay.
so confusing.
Are they really that specific on it?
Yeah.
That they're like 1259?
Like-
Nah, actually it's 1260.
Right. So 1260 for the Exodus, but 1259 for the peace treaty. Which honestly is kind of a fascinating thought.
It's crazy that we have
So it's
that.
like they just lost all of their slaves, and they're like, okay, peace treaty time.
Oh, yeah.
But if you take the biblical dating, it places the Exodus. I might actually have this backwards
Okay.
now that I'm thinking about it.
Depending on what you're, like how you actually
Yeah.
date the Bible.
Because the other one, it would put the Exodus at like 14 something.
Okay.
So essentially what this does is this peace treaty either happens during the time of the judges
Okay.
in the Bible, or it happens during the Exodus.
Huh.
And it depends on where you place. Did the Exodus happen 200 years before or after?
Okay. Well,
So it is interesting, but what's fascinating to me in either case, honestly, is that here are these two superpowers
sure.
that are now, and one of them's up here in Turkey, the other one's down here in Egypt,
Yeah.
and now they have a peace treaty.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, these are two massive powers.
Wait, you're saying that they were potentially, so you're talking about is this the Hittites?
The Hittites and the Egyptians.
So up above Israel,
Yes.
down below Israel,
Yeah.
they have
A treaty.
a treaty with each other
Yes.
while potentially the Israelites are in exile.
Either they're in exile because of the Exodus, or it's during the time of the judges.
Which would mean they're in Israel.
Yes. Either one is fascinating for our story.
It is. Well, the first, if it were during the exile, it would be interesting because Israel hasn't moved into Israel. It's still
Right.
the land of Canaan.
Right.
So, but if it happens during the time of the judges, then that would give a lot of credence to stories in the judges,
Right.
wouldn't it?
And that's kind of where I put it.
Like the times
Personally-
of peace that are happening during
Yeah.
the era of the judges,
Yes.
because
Yeah.
of the peace happening between Turkey and
Yes.
Egypt.
And I'm remembering a little more clearly now, and everyone in the comments can correct me if I got this backwards again. But I think the biblical dating of it puts the Exodus at like 1400,
Okay.
and it puts the Judges period in like 1200,
Okay.
which would be right around this peace treaty time.
Yeah, that's cool.
And for me, when I think about it, even just like strategically, it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay, if I'm the Hittites and I'm trying to do this, I got this deal going with the Egyptians,
Yeah.
and they just lost thousands of slaves. That looks like a weakness.
Yeah.
And I'd probably attack.
Yeah.
So that's like the only thing that I would have. It's like, I feel like that didn't happen then.
Yeah. Yeah, I can
Um,
see that.
Obviously, we don't know everything.
No. Just an interesting idea.
It's an interesting idea.
But yeah.
But kind of placing those where Israel is.
Yeah.
It's like, here's this massive territory that honestly there's a lot of history that we see in biblical history.
Yeah.
And they're a massive superpower. It's the Hittites.
Yeah.
And so it's like, that's a big power to go against. And the Egyptians that you just escaped from.
Right.
And now here you are in this little tiny little piece of property.
Yeah, and all of that stuff kind of exists in and around and before Israel itself.
Yeah.
So, like, even if you look at Abram, and Abram being in the land of, he was Ur of the Chaldeans.
Yeah.
Which is more Iran, I believe. So it's more like southern Mesopotamia, so a little bit further out from Turkey. But in the land that would have been linked up, like the northern region of Mesopotamia linked up into Turkey. So you get all of this stuff, like all of these empires happening kind of in this space that kind of spills south from Turkey.
Yeah.
And as it spills south from Turkey, it eventually lands up into Egypt and then through Israel itself. So that's why, like, it's like the wars and the battles that have been going on in the Middle East from Turkey all the way down through Iraq, Iran, old Mesopotamia, all the way down around Israel, down into Egypt. That whole thing has been at war and chaos.
Yes.
Since Genesis.
Yes.
Since Genesis 3.
Yeah.
Sorry, Genesis 3.
Like, pretty early on.
Yeah. So, yeah, you kind of get this idea that, like, oh, wait, Turkey is, like, actually kind of a big part of this.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot that spills out of Turkey.
Yeah.
And then also, like, once it spills out of Turkey, it comes all the way down into Egypt, comes back up, and then pushes back up through Turkey to get to the rest of the world.
Yeah.
So it's this interesting thing where it pushes down, comes back around, comes into Israel, and then the New Testament pushes the gospel back up through Turkey again.
Yeah.
Which is a really cool...
Pretty cool.
It is.
It's a cool image.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's very... it's very on brand for the story of the Bible.
Yeah.
Of, like, we're trying to retake the nations here.
Right.
And that's exactly what happens. They spread right back into it.
Yeah. And then obviously Turkey is massive to the New Testament and the Acts Church.
Yes.
Because it's mentioned so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you just look up like how many times are regions of Turkey mentioned in the book of Acts, it's like really, really frequently because everybody's going up and through Turkey. Mm-hmm. And so they're having to stop at the church in Galatia. They're having to stop at the church in Pergamum. They're having to stop at all these places.
And they're big areas.
They are.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's this massive region that that has been there for a long time.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty interesting place. So Turkey worth visiting?
Probably.
I think so.
You know what? There's also something else interesting.
What?
And I don't know if you want to go here.
I don't know. Do I?
Interesting sites in Turkey.
Okay. Yeah, we can talk about it for a second.
Okay. We don't have to spend too much time on it.
It might be a good place to land.
But I do think it's fascinating. And so in southern Turkey.
Southern Turkey.
There is...
Which would be northern Mesopotamia.
Yes.
Right.
Which is very important to say that, too.
It is, yeah.
There are a few very significant and specific structures there.
There are, yes.
Namely, Göbekli Tepe.
I was hoping you were going to nail it.
I know, I totally butchered it. I was like, dang it. I wanted to do it so well, too.
Göbekli Tepe.
Göbekli Tepe. So why is that interesting? Why is that worth bringing up?
So Göbekli Tepe is kind of a recent archaeological discovery up on a hillside, a cliffside.
And it's like early 1900s, 1960s.
Oh, when it was found?
Recently.
Yeah.
I mean, it was older than that, but we recently discovered it.
Yeah. No, I think it's dated to like somewhere between 8 and 10,000 BC.
At the earliest.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
some people put it even way further.
Yeah, it is considered the first or second, depending on the list that you look at, oldest archaeological sites on the earth.
Yes. Yeah.
So Göbekli Tepe, I think they put it as second oldest archaeological sites on the earth. So we're talking about northern Mesopotamia, which would be part of southern Turkey eventually. But Göbekli Tepe, there's a bunch of ritual things found at Göbekli Tepe.
Yeah.
There's a lot of potential. This would definitely be another episode, but like apocryphal writings.
Yeah.
That kind of speak to places that echo what we found at Göbekli Tepe, which is interesting.
Well, I think it's also important to point out that it was intentionally buried.
Sure.
Which is like, oh, that's interesting.
It is.
And there are signs based on their dating what they found that it's probably been buried a couple times.
Yeah.
Intentionally.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, every time they're like, yeah, this isn't the first time people have tried to hide this.
Yeah, and this is we're talking about like a temple and a structure that is on a mountainside.
Yes.
It's not like down in a valley, and it can easily be like covered with erosion and water.
You got to work to
yeah. Somebody intentionally filled it in, flattened it out, built a mound on top of it, and made it look like it was just part of the mountain.
Yeah.
And then eventually, like, farmers kind of digging around, like, knew the area and stuff like that. And archaeological.
Like, wow, this stone keeps kind of going.
Yeah, and people, like, knew, like most archaeological discoveries, like, the local people know about it already.
Yeah, yeah.
And because you're just, like, as kids, you're just playing around and stuff.
And you're like, oh, look.
Yeah. Like, oh, that's a weird, like, head of a pillar.
Yeah.
That's just, like, kind of sticking up.
Like, that's our pillar we play on.
Yeah. I don't know where the rest of his body is, but it's just his head sticking out. But yeah. So there are ancient sites in southern Turkey that that are some of the oldest archaeological sites that we've found.
Yeah.
And I think the reason why potentially you're bringing it up and the thing to mention is really just the discovery of Göbekli Tepe points to the idea that there was higher intelligence of culture at a later date than we imagined.
That's one of them. Yeah. Yeah, there's another piece that I found really interesting, especially kind of from what we were talking about.
Okay.
Which this might seem like a stretch, but it also might not.
We can end on speculation.
I like it. Well, so it's interesting because one of the things they found on these pillars is like signs and explanations for like stars. Not explanations, but basically outlining star patterns.
Right.
Or as like a lot of people call it now, like the zodiac.
Right.
So it's like they found that inscribed and written out on these pillars within this temple.
Right.
And so it's like, okay, well, why is that interesting?
Yeah.
Well, I think it's interesting because of, I mean, even, I don't think we ever talked about it, but even Enoch talks about it in his writings.
Yeah.
So it's like seeing signs in stars and studying those has been something that's been around for a long time. Even if we date Göbekli Tepe at like 8,000 BC.
Sure.
It's like, so people knew about it then. People were looking at the signs, at the stars. It makes me think of, I think it's, I don't know if you want to pull up, I think it's Genesis 1:14, where God says he puts the lights in the sky, or in the heavens. I don't want to misquote it, so I'll let you pull it up.
Okay.
I was like, I almost have it, but not fully.
Yeah, you're close.
Because then there's also a cross-reference to that I want to go to, that I'll have you pull up after this.
Yeah, 14. And God said, "Let there be lights in the expanse of the heavens to separate the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years, and let them be lights in the expanse of the heavens to give light upon the earth." And it was so.
And then can you go to Jeremiah 10:2?
I can.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, so I think it's fascinating because when we see, it's like, okay, so here in creation, God's saying that, hey, I created these things and use them for signs and to mark the seasons. And that's something that we see in Göbekli Tepe. So it's like we see that was a significant thing for people.
Yeah.
But then in it's funny because as people do,
Yeah.
we take things way too far.
Right.
And we start to add that into our temple worship.
Yeah.
And we start to add that into other things. So then I love the cross reference here
Yeah.
in Jeremiah 10:2.
Yeah.
If you want to read that.
Starting in verse 1. Hear the word of the
Yeah.
Lord speaks to you, O house of Israel. Thus says the Lord. Learn not the way of the nations, nor be dismayed at the signs of the heavens, because the nations are dismayed at them. For the customs of the peoples are vanity. A tree from the forest is cut down and worked with an axe by the hands of craftsmen. And then it goes on. Do you want me to...
No, that's good right there. But
Oh, yeah. No, I like that. So learn
Isn't that
not the
great?
ways of
Yeah.
the nations, nor be dismayed at the signs of the heavens, because the nations are dismayed at them.
yeah.
So they're looking at the signs of the heavens, and they have become dismayed at the
Yes.
signs that they read.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
And so I think it's funny. It's like God says in Genesis, hey, I made this for you so you can see signs. And everyone's basing their life on it, and then they get sad when it doesn't say what they want it to.
Yes.
And he's like, yeah, don't do that.
Well, because of what we've talked about many times, they're worshiping the ones that they think are making the signs.
Yes.
Meaning the stars in the sky.
Yes.
Right? The sons of God in the sky giving them signs represented as lights.
Yeah.
Versus the one who created the lights itself.
Absolutely.
So yeah, they're worshiping the sign, not the creator of the sign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And honestly, I would love to do an episode on the stars particularly.
Yeah, I think
and even if we did one on the zodiac,
yeah,
I think that would actually be a lot of fun.
That'd be
And there's
cool.
a lot to talk about there. But the reason why I even bothered to bring that up is because this is all in Turkey.
it is.
This is all Turkey, guys.
Yeah, it's Turkey.
Like, we're in Turkey.
Yeah, so if you're
surrounded Turkey.
there's Turkey everywhere. Jerry
So-
Seinfeld, get out of here.
What's the deal with all the
With
turkey?
What's the deal? No one mentions Turkey.
But I do think it is beautiful, that image of, for the sake of argument,
Yeah,
that is like things started around or in modern day Turkey.
for sure.
And then we spread out from there, or pushed out from there, we could even say, exile.
Yeah.
And then we see in the New Testament, the apostles, that was their launching point
Yeah,
into the rest of the nations.
yeah. It was
And
their
it's-
bridge.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
kind of it's a really beautiful picture. Even when I think you even brought this up, but it's worth saying again.
Mm.
When we see like the Garden of Eden, that's where life began. That's the origin.
Yeah,
And we see the rivers pour out into everything.
yeah,
Well, it was because of the bridge in Turkey that it created for everybody that the truth or life was able to spread to all corners of the earth.
yeah. And let me be clear as we close. We're not saying that Eden was in Turkey,
No.
but we're not saying Eden wasn't centrally in the hub of Turkey, that potentially the landmass looked different. Maybe not. It could have. There's a lot of signs that point to Turkey. There's a lot of old things in Turkey. Let's
There's-
just say that.
Turkey's significant.
Yeah. So don't forget about Turkey.
Make sure when
Don't
you're stacking
you
a sandwich.
Forget about Turkey.
Turkey.
3, 2, 1.